Hello, Year 5, and welcome to your maths lesson for Tuesday. Let's have a look at a starter based on your previous learning where we looked at remainders. So, Whitney is thinking of a two-digit number that is less than 50. When it's divided by 2, there is no remainder. When it's divided by 3, there is a remainder of 1. When it's divided by 5, there is a remainder of 3. What number is Whitney thinking of? So have a little bit of a go there. There are some clues in here. So when it's divided by 2, it has no remainder, which means it must be an even number. When it's divided by 3, there is a remainder of 1, which means that it must be a number that is 1 more than a multiple of 3. And when it is divided by 5, there is a remainder of 3. Now we know that multiples of 5 in either 0 or 5. So it would have 3 left over, which means it has to end in either a 3 or an 8. Now we know from the first clue that it's an even number because when it's divided by 2, there's no remainder. So we know that it must be a number that ends in 8, that is lower than 50, and that is 1 more than a multiple of 3. So can you have a go at finding that elusive number? So pause the screen, have a go at that. You might need to use a little bit of trial and error with this. Okay, let's have a look and see. So the answer is 28. And if I have a look at why that is, I can see that when I do 28 divided by 2, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 8 4 times with no remainders. So I can see it's divided by 2 and there's no remainders. Let's try by 3. 3 doesn't go into 2. 3 goes into 28. Let me count up. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. So it goes in 9 times with 1 left over. Rather exciting on there. And I can see when it's divided by 3, there is a remainder of 1. So that is correct. When it's divided by 5, there is a remainder of 3. So if I count up in my 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, that's the closest we're going to get. So 26, 27, 28, there's a remainder of 3. So it goes in 5 times with 3 left over. I'm starting to get a little bit better at drawing on here as well. So the answer that you're looking for is 28. Now, today we are looking at dividing a 3-digit number by a 1-digit number using both of those methods that we've been looking at. We are not looking at remainders today. So if any of your answers end up having remainders, it means that you need to have another look at them and you need to double check because you may have gone wrong somewhere. So we're going to look at both methods. We're going to look at the physical visual representation first, and then we will look at how we can use that as the Bustop method. So our example one to start with is going to be 609 divided by 3. So I've got 609, so I'm going to need 600s. Don't need any 10s because I've got a 0 in the 10s column and I've got 9 ones. I've split my partitioning place value grid into 3 rows because I'm sharing 609 between 3. And I've added that hundreds column in as well because we're starting to deal with hundreds. So if I have a look and see, I will do the largest column first, so the hundreds. And I will share 600s between my 3 rows. Each row ends up with 200s. I haven't got any 10s to share, so all of those will be 0. That's absolutely fine. And then I've got 9 ones to share between 3 rows, which should, and I might know already that 9 shared between 3 gives us 3. So hopefully that will end up working out. There we go. So I can see that each row has got an equal amount in them, and each row's got 203 ones in, which gives us 203. So 609 shared between 3 things gives us 203. Now, if I have a look at this using the Bustop method, how many times does 3 go into 6? 3, 6, it goes in twice. How many times does 3 go into 0? It doesn't go into 0 at all, so it's 0 times. And there's none left over because 0 times 3 is 0. And then finally, how many times does 3 go into 9? 3, 6, 9. It goes in 3 times. So we end up with 203 as well. Let's have a look at a different one. So we've got 864 divided by 4. So again, I've got 800s, 6 10s, 4 1s. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows that I'm going to share them between. So let me do my 800s first. So there we go. And that's 4. Okay, so each row ends up with 200s in it. Now let me do my 10s. Still between 4 rows. Now I'm going to run into a problem here because I've got 2 10s left over. Now I can't just say that they are remainder 20, but I can exchange them for 21s instead, and then we can try and put our 1s into this column equally. So there we go. I've exchanged my 2 leftover 10s for 1s. Because I've got quite a lot of 1s, I'll do these in pairs instead, because instead of those 4 1s, I've ended up with 24 that I've got to share. And wherever I put my head, I seem to get in the way. Okay, so I can see so far I'm going well. And I should still have enough to be able to do that. Now, I took a risk there by starting to share 2 at a time, even towards the end, but it's paid off here. So I can see that in each row, I've got 200s, 110, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. So 864 divided by 4 gives me 216. And let's have a look at what that looks like when we are using the Bustop method. So how many times does 4 go into 8, and are there any left over? 4, 8, it goes in twice with none left over. So 2 goes up there. How many times does 4 go into 6, and are there any left over? 4. If I keep going, 8's too far. So 4, it goes in once, and then if I count up from 4, 4, 5, 6, it's got 2 remainders. So 2 left over. Because it's 2 10s, I'm going to add them to my 1s to make 24 ones. How many times does 4 go into 24? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 goes in 6 times. So I can put a 6 there. So I can see I get the same answer that way. You've got a few different options for questions here. So here are your 6 arithmetic questions. If you wanted to use the arithmetic option on Teams, it's absolutely fine. Here are 3 of your word problems if you are doing the word problems. And here are the other 4 of them, 7 today, which is exciting. And then here is your challenge. There are a few different answers for the challenge. So I've put it in as a PowerPoint slide so that you can have a go at coming up with the different ways that you could do it. I haven't got an answer for the challenge because there are quite a lot of different answers. So send me them over or submit your answers and I'll tell you whether they are correct or not. But here are your answers for your arithmetic questions. Here are your answers for your first 3 word problems. Here are your answers for your next batch of word problems. And I will check your challenges on Teams. Well done, guys, and hope that you enjoyed that. And hopefully you're getting to grips with the method. If you're still not sure, please feel free to email me. And if I need to put up a video like I did for the column method of multiplication, then I absolutely will.